Hello everyone, my name is Clifford Chukwemeka Iruanya. I come from Aro Ndionyemobi, and Aro Ndionyemobi is in Olo province of the Lugadian experiment, the British created criminal enterprise, otherwise called Nigeria. And I'm reaching you from Houston, Texas, the United States of America, on Friday, the 10th of June, which coincidentally is just one day after my 57th birthday. And I'm very happy and thank God for being alive today. I am presenting this video topic or speech with the title Futility of Igbo or Yoruba Presidency 2023 and the way forward. Let me repeat the topic again. The futility of Igbo or Yoruba Presidency 2023 and the way forward. Before I continue or go further on this topic, I would like to take us to the fraudulent and disputed 1999 Constitution, to the section where the conditions for winning presidential election, where there are more than two candidates for standing for the election. Let me say that again. There is a place in the fraudulent and disputed Constitution of Nigeria 1999 where conditions for winning election for the office of the presidency are stipulated for a situation where there are more than two candidates. And where is that? It is in section 134, subsection 2. Again, section 134, subsection 2. And I'm going to read directly from the fraudulent 1999 Constitution. Here we go. It says, section 134, subsection 2, and I'm reading now. A candidate for an election to the office of president shall be deemed to have been duly elected where there being more than two candidates for the election. A, he has the highest number of votes cast at the election. B, he has not less than 1/4 of the vote, that's 25% of the vote cast at the election of each of at least 2/3 of all the states. That is 25% in 2/3. 2/3 of 36 means 24. So let me translate it in my own word. He has not less than 25% of the vote cast on each of at least 24 states in the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory. So when you look at this section 134, subsection 2, it gives three conditions. Condition number 1, that the person will have the overall highest number of votes. That is when you add up all the votes in the so-called 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory. That person will have the highest number of votes. That's number 1. Number 2, the person must have 25% of the vote, at least 25% of the vote in 24 different states. That is, out of the 36 states, the person must have a minimum of 25% in 24 of that 36 states. That's condition number 2. Condition number 3 is that the person must have at least 25% in the Federal Capital Territory. I don't know if that really sank well, but let me repeat it so that it will sink very, very well. There are 3 conditions for somebody to be declared winner of the presidential election. Condition number 1, when all the votes are added for the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory, when they add all the votes, that person own will be the highest number. I'm just throwing out numbers. Let's say at the end it was like 10 million total in all the 36 states plus Abuja. It means that the person will have maybe 6 million or 8 million or 7 million, so that the others will not equal it. That's condition number 1. Condition number 2, when those votes are now analyzed, when they break them down, that person must have 20, at least, it could be more, but at least 25% of the vote in each state, up to 24 states. Nigeria has 36 states. It's saying that that person must have at least 25% in 24 of those 36 states. That's condition number 2. Condition number 3, the person must have at least 25% in the Federal Capital Territory. So I'm setting this background so that you will understand the futility of Igbo or Yoruba Presidency 2023. So, and these are the realities on the ground. Number 1, Section 3, and I keep saying this. In my last video, I emphasized it. I said it more than a dozen or 50 times. Section 3, Section 3, Section 3. Section 3 of the fraudulent and disputed 1999 Constitution is where you have the number of states and number of local government areas. Take your time. Go and read that Section 3 of the disputed and fraudulent 1999 Constitution. You will understand that there are 19 states in the north and 17 states in the south. And in the so-called geographical or geopolitical arrangement they have now, you have the southwest, you have the south-south, and you have the southeast. And let us be very clear. Maybe you will not like what I'm going to say, but let us be very clear. There are 2 main political parties in Nigeria when it comes to the part of electing the president. I don't know how you feel. You may get offended. You may think that one candidate in one minor party is making waves on the internet, or maybe people from his tribe are going out somewhere to register. But when the chips are down, you will understand that no matter how good you are, no matter your message, no matter the kind of quality you possess, if you do not belong to any of these 2 major parties, you are just daydreaming. So what am I trying to say? Now, you have 2 main political parties, and you already have candidates. I think they have done their primaries now. That was why I waited for them to finish so that I can do this video. And by the way, this is going to be my last video. I'm not going to be talking about this anymore. I'll just sit back and watch and laugh and maybe take some drink when you begin to complain and whine about your predicament. But let's move on. They have finished their primaries. And what do we have? We have somebody from the north. We have somebody from the southwest, from those 2 major political parties. And then there is another minor party being represented by somebody from the southeast, which many of you are thinking that he's going to do anything significant. But we shall see. So we all know, maybe some of you are committing the greatest crime that somebody can commit on this earth against himself. And what is that greatest crime? Not telling yourself the truth. Some of you, don't want to tell yourself the truth. But if you want to tell yourself the truth, you will know that in Nigeria, people vote by tribe, they vote by religion, and they vote by uh, uh, by uh, by region. I repeat, people vote by religion, they vote by tribe, and they vote by region. So the reality on the ground now is that we have somebody up north who is in that religion that is popular up north and is also in the tribe of the caliphate. Now you have the other two from the south. One is on one religion, one is on another religion, and both of them are of different tribes and they are from different regions. So is that a possibility? Is there a possibility that these two guys from the south will make any way? That is reality number two. Remember, I talked about section 3, number of states. I talked about the voting pattern. Reality number 3 is on the allocation of polling units in the so-called Nigeria. Maybe you don't know this, but the polling units of the southeast is, and the entire southeast is not even up to that of one of the regions in the north. And then you have 3 of the 3 regions. The same thing in the southwest. Reality number 3. Reality number 4. The officers manning the so-called independent National Electoral Commission. We know where they come from. We know who they are. We know where their allegiance lie. Reality number 4. Reality number 5. Leadership of security apparatus in Nigeria. I don't need to say much about that. You watching me, you know what I'm talking about. Leadership of security apparatus in Nigeria. Or maybe you are not in Nigeria, you're an American watching this, but you need to make your research because I don't want to waste much of time on this video talking about that. And the last reality is the leadership of the judicial system in Nigeria. That one is clear. The leadership of the judicial system in Nigeria. So with all these realities, you think your so-called southern candidate stand a chance? Like I said, this is my last video. I will sit down and have myself a cup of popcorn and watch you guys commit the greatest crime you can commit to yourself, which is not telling yourself the truth. And what are the implications of allowing 2023 electoral journey to continue up to the point of swearing in a president? What are the implications? Number 1, if this election goes up to the point of, having somebody elected and sworn in, it will lead to renewal of the life of the disputed and fraudulent 1999 Constitution. I repeat, if we allow this suicidal journey to 2023 to get to the conclusive end and somebody is sworn in, what it means that we have renewed the life of that disputed and fraudulent 1999 Constitution. Number 2, if we allow this journey to get to the point where we have a president sworn in 2023, it means that we have renewed the current unitary Nigeria, which lied that Nigeria is a federation. Meanwhile, a federation is a union of constitutions. It is not one unitary constitution. It is made up of independent subunits, that those subunits were agreed to its creation by the indigenous peoples living in that entire space, like we did before getting out of the British control. by agreeing to have a northern region, a western region, an eastern region, and then later in 1963 to add the Midwestern region. It was a collective agreement. But we had four individuals, Yakubu Gowon, Murtala Muhammad, Ibrahim Babangida, and Sani Abacha. Four individuals, all from the north, three Muslim Fulanis, and then one Christian, Yakubu Gowon, all from the north, creating a total of 36 states without consulting us. So, what am I trying to say? Nigeria is a unitary structure. So, if we allow that 2023 journey to complete, we will still renew that unitary structure. Number 3 is that by allowing this journey to get to the point of somebody being sworn in as president in 2023, we are giving terrorists more 4 years to continue in their terrorism, in their land grab, and in the complete decimation of the owners of the land, if we allow this journey to continue. Remember that. Number 4, if we allow this journey to continue to the point of somebody being sworn in on May 29, 2023, what it means is that we have collectively agreed to sustain Section 3 of that Constitution for another 4 years. It doesn't matter who is there. Even if by mistake, the so-called Southern candidate or the popular one from Southeast decide to win, by swearing in, by subscribing to Schedule 7 of that Constitution, it means that, we have agreed to sustain Section 3 of that disputed and fraudulent Constitution. And it is that Section 3 that makes you and I, from the Middle Belt and Southern Nigeria, permanent political minority. That the Fulanis are arrogant today, that they are bellicose today, is because of Section 3. That they can tell you to your face that you can do nothing, and they can do anything they want, they can select who they want, they can throw away any agreement they reached in terms of rotation or whatever, is because of Section 3. And if you allow the journey, suicidal for that matter, to 2023 to get to the conclusive end, you have said, yes, I want Section 3 to be sustained. Then, number 5, if we allow that journey to get to swearing in of a president on May 29, 2023, it means that we have also collectively agreed to sustain Section 4, subsection 2, and Schedule 2, Part 1. That is the area of the fraudulent and disputed constitution that has to do with exclusive list. Today we are crying. We don't have road, we don't have water, we don't have light, we don't have this, because those things are exclusively in the hands of the so-called federal government or Fulani government of Nigeria, as some people refer to it. We are sustaining Section 4, subsection 2, and Schedule 2, Part 1. If we allow this journey to continue, it means we are also sustaining Section 162, subsections 1 and 2. These are sections that have to do with what is called federation account, which again is linked to Section 3. Section 162, subsection 1 and 2 is linked to Section 3. You think that your senator can do anything? Go to Section 48 and Section 49. You can see that they are all heavily dependent and dictated to by Section 3. I hope you are following now. So when you hear me talk about Section 3, Section 3, Section 3, it means that that Section 3 is the root cause. In fact, if you are talking about restructure, for those of you who are talking about restructure, by taking this decision to continue with the journey to 2023, you have eventually nailed the coffin in restructuring. Because any restructuring you can do under the 1999 Constitution, it must pass through Section 9. You can never, I quote you, please bring any lawyer that you know of and let that lawyer come and debate me. That I said that there is no restructuring without going through Section 9. It is impossible. You can never do any restructuring in Nigeria without going through Section 9. Now, look at the trick there. Section 9 on its own is dependent on Section 3. You want restructuring, right? You have to go through Section 9. But Section 9 depends on Section 3. So you can see that you are not doing yourself any good by continuing with this journey. So now, finally, what is the way forward? As I conclude, the way forward is to halt the preparation for 2023 election. Stop it now. Just like it was done in South Africa by way of not proceeding with further election and then setting up a transitioning body. We need to halt that journey now. That's number one. Number two, we need to emplace a transitioning body, like I said before, like Frederick de Klerk did in 1990. He set up what they call, his government set up what they call CODETA. We need to set up a transitioning body. Buhari and his government can still be in power. We don't have problem. Ninas doesn't have any problem with those in power. They can continue with their governance or whatever. But let there be a transitioning body that will first of all, as its first order of business, to midwife the conducting of a regional referendum, or to midwife conduct of regional referendums, plural. And those referendums will be specifically addressing the issue of stay or leave. People will go and vote if they want to continue to stay as part of Nigeria or if they want to leave. Then after that, from the result of those referendums, then there will be constitutional reconfiguration. And then those who want to contest, like those who are now presidential candidates, they can now come out and contest to govern whichever entity that exists in their area. That's what we are saying. We need to halt the journey to 2023 now and enthrone a transitioning body and let them work out the referendum. And all these things I'm talking about will be done in less than 6 months. If we start now, it will be concluded before the end of 2022. In fact, it will be concluded before the end of November. We are in June. Today is June 10. This thing can be completed in less than 6 months. And then we will begin to enjoy the real democracy and whatever comes with it. But let me warn, if we do not follow this way forward that I've just explained, if we decide to continue with this suicidal journey to 2023, I am warning, and please keep this very video presentation because you will need it. This is my last video presentation. I'm not going to make any video presentation pleading with our people, explaining to them, and then talking about the need to halt the electoral journey and also for us to have a transition. I am not going to do it again. Keep this video. if we fail in our long throat, due to our long throat and other ephemeral and other personal, things that we long for, and we decide to go headlong and have this election and swear somebody in, disaster is on the way. And by then, it will be too late to cry when the head is off. Thank you, and God bless you.